A triumph of surgery. Tricky, a small dog, is pampered and overfed by his rich mistress. He falls seriously ill, and his mistress consults a veterinary surgeon. Does he perform an operation? Does the dog recover? That we have to find out from this story. Okay. So we you can see some questions in this friend. Read and find out. Why is Mrs. Pumphrey worried about Tricky? What does she do to help him? Is she wise in this? Who does I refer to in this story? So you have to find out the answers for these questions. Okay, let's move to the story. I was really worried about Tricky this time. I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his mistress, and I was shocked at his appearance. He had become hugely fat, like a bloated sausage, with a leg at each corner. His eyes bloodshot and roomy, stared straight ahead, and his tongue lolled from his jaws. See, after a long time, our Harriet writer sees Tricky with his mistress, and Harriet became shocked because Tricky became overfat. He was like a bloated sausage. Bloated sausage means a bulky meat. Bulky. His eyes were weak, and everything was in a bad condition because of her overfeeding, because of Pumphrey's overfeeding to the dog. So I told you that here I stands for James Herriot, a writer. He is a veterinary surgeon and he is the doctor here itself. Mrs. Pumphrey hastened to explain. He was so listless, Mr. Harriet. He seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition, so I have been giving him some little extras between meals to build him up, some malt and cod liver oil, and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. Nothing much, really. See, here you can see the food items that Mrs. Pumphrey is giving to his dog Tricky. See, Horlicks, what cod liver oil, malt, everything is there. She means Tricky is a very lucky dog, right? Yes, Harriet asked about the dog's condition to Pumphrey, but she was not interested to explain. But she told to the doctor that all this may be because of malnutrition. And she added that she was giving more extras between meals to build him up, just like cod liver oil, bowl of Horlicks at night, etc. See, actually, the problem of the dog was what? Overfeeding. But Mrs. Pumphrey didn't accept that. And she was telling like all these problems are related to Tricky's malnutrition because of Tricky's malnutrition.